Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh to all my panelists. Today my group members and I would like to present our report, which is the application of Whoqol-Bref in measuring quality of life among staff of Uitm in Negeri Sembilan. My name is Nur Akal Syamimi Osman and the other two members is Nur Aisyah binti Haidarsyah and Siti Nurlana binti Muhammad Fauzi.
Firstly is the background of the study. The quality of life is the product of interactions of variety of health, social, environment, economic, political and psychological factors, and it will be the outline of the negative and positive feature of the person lifestyle. It has a wide range of contexts including international development, education, politics and employment and healthcare. And it has become an important factor in influencing the staff performance and it can be the measurement of the staff performance. Matter and Dupis 2000 states that the first quality of life programs in United States has enabled employees to play an active role in decisions on their working conditions aimed at measuring employee satisfaction with a view to increasing employee productivity. World Health Organization WHO, developed in 1948, has created a specific questionnaire to calculate the quality of life, which is called as Whoqol. There is two types of questionnaire, which is Whoqol hundreds and Whoqol-Bref. Therefore, we determined to study the quality of life among Uitm in Negeri Sembilan staff, which including the four domains, which is physical health, psychological health, social relationship and environment.
Next, for problem statement, University Teknologi Mara is one of the highest ranking public university in Malaysia. Therefore, there is high expectation for UiTM to be one of the place that provide high quality teaching and learning with the best qualified and competent staff. However, due to constant resignation and termination of employee contracts, quality of teaching and learning worsening. Moreover, system that always changing make it worse for staff since the staff need to adapt with the new system. This will lead to working extra hours, overload stress, psychological disorder like anxiety and others. Therefore, the research to be conducted is to assist the quality of life among staff of Uitm in Negeri Sembilan.
There is a four research objective in this research. First, to identify the demographic factor among staff of Uitm in Negeri Sembilan. Second, to determine the relationship between four domains and the quality of life among staff of Uitm in Negeri Sembilan. Third, to compare means for each domain and demographic factor among staff of Uitm in Negeri Sembilan. Fourth, to identify the significant domains to weight quality of life among staff of Uitm in Negeri Sembilan. For the methodology, research design, we use cross-sectional design, and for the population, all 602 staff members of UiTM in Negeri Sembilan, and the sample we took is just 181 staff members of UiTM in Negeri Sembilan. The sampling technique that we use is convenience sampling, and the data collection method, we use a self-administered questionnaire. The first objective, descriptive analysis, we use graphical chart and numerical descriptive measure. The second objective, correlation analysis, such as Pearson product moment correlation and Spearman's rank order correlation. Third objective, means comparison, such as independent test and ANOVA, and Ben-Whitney U test and Krasker-Wallis H test. And the last objective, multiple linear regression, such as multiple linear assumption and model evaluation.
The first step is to chart reliability test. Based on the graph of the Cronbach alpha between pilot study and actual study, all the domains and overall, which is quality of life, has more than 0.6 value, which indicate that they are highly reliable. Therefore, they will be ready for any further analysis.
Descriptive analysis. Objective first, to identify the demographic factor among staff in UiTM Negeri Sembilan. It can be concluded that 45 male and 136 female who answer this questionnaire, and the percentage difference between male and female is 50.28%. This pie chart is about the distribution of age among staff in UiTM Negeri Sembilan, and the result is the majority of staff who answered the questionnaire were the age 31 to 40 with 49.72%. The minority staff who answered the questionnaire are between the age 51 to 60 with 2.76%. And the difference between 21 to 30 and 40 to 50 is just 2.21%. This graph is about the distribution of education level among staff in UiTM Negeri Sembilan, and the result is master level is the highest percentage while the SPM level is the lowest percentage that respond to the survey. There is a slightly difference between diploma and degree level with 2.76%. This bar graph is about the distribution of occupation type among staff in Uitm Negeri Sembilan, and the result is only 41.99% of non-academic staff who involved in this survey, while the balance comes from academic staff. Most of the staff are from academic profession who implicate themselves to answer the questionnaire. The result of this chart is the difference between the temporary and permanent type of employment is more than 50%. Staff who work in their own campus as permanent type get more interested in this survey than staff who work as temporary with 78.45%. This donut graph can be concluded that majority of the staff responding to the survey are married with 72%. 24% is from staff who are single, only 2% different between divorced worker and widowed worker. This stacked bar chart is about education level by campus and can be concluded that on the SPM level, only one campus involved, which is Uitm Kuala Pilam, but in master level involve all campus with 12.71% for Uitm Sembilan, 21.55% for Uitm Kuala Pilam, and 8.84% for Uitm Rembau. The clustered bar chart of employment type by campus can be concluded that Uitm Kuala Pilam is the highest number of staff among the other two campuses on both types of employment. Second, Uitm Rembau is the lowest number of staff on both types of employment with 18.23% as permanent and 2.21% as temporary.
For the second objective, the Spearman rank order analysis was used. Firstly, the test of normality is conducted. Based on the table, all the variables are not normal distributed. For the physical domain, there is a weak positive relationship. Meanwhile, for the psychological domain, there is a moderate positive relationship between quality of life. Next, for the social and environment, there is moderate positive relationship between quality of life among staff of Uitm in Negeri Sembilan.
In comparison, Objective 3 to compare means for each domain and demographic factor among staff of Uitm in Negeri Sembilan. Firstly, check the normality assumption among each of the variables, and it can be concluded that all the normality assumption among of each variable is fulfilled. Next, test the normality test among each of the variable on every domain. As a result, since one of the components on the variable is not normally distributed on every domain, therefore we can conclude that all the distribution among each of the variable on every domain are not normally distributed. Then we proceed to the non-parametric test, which is Mann-Whitney U test and Kruskal-Wallis H test. Whitney U test, we use gender because of it involves two samples. Since p-value is less than alpha, therefore it can be concluded that there are significant differences on social domain and environmental domain, while there is no significant difference on physical domain and psychological domain among staff of Uitm in Negeri Sembilan. Kruskal-Wallis H test H. It can be concluded that there are significant differences on physical domain and social domain by age, while there are no significant difference on psychological domain and environment domain by age among staff in Uitm Negeri Sembilan. Next, education level. It can be concluded that there are significant difference on environment domain by education level, while the others domain is no significant difference by education level among staff in Uitm Negeri Sembilan. For the campus, it can be concluded that there are significant difference on all domains by campus among staff in Uitm Negeri Sembilan. Next, marital status. It can be concluded that there are significant difference on social domain by marital status, while the other domain is no significant difference by marital status among staff in Uitm Negeri Sembilan. Lastly, for the income level, it can be concluded that there are significant difference on all domains by income level among staff in Uitm Negeri Sembilan.
For the first objective, we use multiple linear regression analysis. Before we proceed with analysis, we must check the assumption of the normality. The first assumption is linear relationship between dependent variable and independent variable. Figure show the scatter plot of physical health and psychological health against quality of life. while this slide is for social relationship and environment. There are approximately positive linear relationship between all independent variables and quality of life, since the plot in each figure are plotted on the straight line or nearly the straight line. The second assumption is normality of error term. With Shapiro will analysis, the p-value for the test is 0.081. Therefore, we fail to reject H0. We can conclude that the error term are normally distributed. For normal probability plot, we can see from the QQ plot, most of the points lies on the straight line. While for the histogram, the data are approximately symmetrical on both sides. Therefore, the error term is normally distributed. The third assumption is homozygosity. There is no obvious pattern in the scatter plot. We can conclude that the error variance are constant. Therefore, there is no existing heterozygosity problem. Fourth assumption is independence of error term. We can see that the Duber-Watson value is 1.906. Therefore, we can conclude that there is no serial correlation problem exists. The fifth assumption in multicollinearity, we can see that there is no multicollinearity problem exists, since tolerant values for all variables are more than 0.1, while VIF value for all variables are all less than 10. After all the assumptions are fulfilled, we can conclude that the data is normally distributed. We then proceed with further study. The result correlation for quality of life among staff Uitm in Negeri Sembilan towards 4 domains. The coefficient of correlation is 0.755. We can conclude that there is strong positive relationship between quality of life and the 4 domains. We then proceed with the result significance of model. We can say that the model is appropriate for the data, since p-value 0.000 is less than level of significance alpha. We then proceed with the result regression coefficient for the model. We can see that the equation form is on the slide. We can see that the environment has the most significant influence on quality of life, since the B4 value is 0.456, while physical health is the least significant domain with regression coefficient 0.099. For significant tests of independent variable used in the model, we can say that physical health and psychological health is not significant towards the quality of life among staff of Uitm in Negeri Sembilan, since the p-value are both more than alpha. While significant test for social relationship and environment shows that there is significant difference between both variable and quality of life, since p-value for both variable are less than alpha.
As for the conclusions, the first objective, most respondents are female, education levels is master and married people, and most age of the respondents are between 31 and 40, and the least age are between 50 and 60. Second objective, all 4 domains are positively correlated to the quality of life, and majority of statistically significant are positive with to the moderate correlations. The environment domain is the most dominant factor, meanwhile physical health domain are the least factor that influence the quality of life. For the third objective, the gender is significant to the physical health and social relationships domain. Age variables significant to the physical health and social relationship domain. Education is significant on environment domain only. Marital status variables is only significant to social relationship, and campus and income level are significant to all 4 domains. For the last objective, the distribution is normal. The regression coefficient is significant with only 2 independent variables, which is social relationship and environment factor. The environment domains has the most significant influence toward the quality of life, with a value of 0.456. Most of the previous research found that all this domain is significant toward the quality of life. However, only 2 domains are significant towards quality of life in our research. Therefore, it's not consistent with the previous study. That's all from us. Thank you.